guys, so a lot of people have been asking me on my social media and on public, Mark, what's your favorite retro emulation handheld in 2024? I kind of hate to say that it's going to be up to you because there's so many different options and gaming consoles out there to fit your specific playstyle. From your typical Game Boy design like the RG35XX to the Analogue Pocket to the Retroid Pocket 4, you got so many options. All of those systems I just mentioned are great and all, and I'd love to review every single one, but we're here to talk about the first one, the RG35XX. Look, here's the deal. Chances are you don't have a ton of money to spend on a retro handheld, you're looking to relive some classics such as Pokemon Emerald or Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku, and you're looking for something extremely portable just like the original Game Boy. Then the RG35XX is perfect for you. This is an exceptional handheld device for several reasons. First off, let's talk about the price. This little guy will run you about $60 on Amazon, and when I tell you what's built into it, you'll see why it's worth the price tag. The RG35XX's retro-inspired design evokes a strong sense of nostalgia, appealing to gamers like me who grew up with classic consoles like the Game Boy. Despite its vintage aesthetic though, the RG35XX boasts modern hardware and features, offering a seamless blend of old-school charm and cutting-edge technology. This unique combination ensures that players can enjoy their favorite retro titles with enhanced performance and reliability. Alright, let's get into the specs though, why don't we? Because I'm sure you guys are wondering what's powering this little thing. So the RG35XX sports a 3.5-inch screen, a quad-core A9 processor, power VR GPU, DDR3 RAM, and a whopping 64 gigabytes of storage on a micro SD card. Oh, and it also runs a Linux operating system called Garlic OS. Now, what does all that mean for you? Well, it means you can play Pokemon Emerald really, really well. Okay, but really, when you have so many games packed on such a little device and emulating up to some PlayStation games, you want a system that can handle every single game loaded onto it. You also want it to be able to switch between each game in a timely manner and simply just power on and off quickly. The RG35XX boasts an impressive display that brings your games to life with vibrant colors and crisp detail. Its 3.5-inch display has full viewing angle, so whether you're playing in broad daylight or under the covers at night, the screen remains clear and responsive. The screen is even made out of tempered glass, offering double protection to prevent against scratches and create more drop resistance. A good handheld like this needs a good battery, and this one does not fall short. Its built-in large capacity lithium battery supports up to 6 hours of game time and is capable of fast charging via USB-C. The final thing I want to mention about the specs is that its upgraded processor allows it to support HDMI and TV output, so you can connect it up to your TV or monitor and use it as a controller to play your games on there. Come on, is that not awesome? Alright, now that we got the specs out of the way, let's talk about build quality and form factor. This is probably my favorite part about this system. The way it feels in your hand, the way the buttons press, everything about it just takes you back to when you were a childhood playing the original Game Boys. There's also these trigger buttons on the back that I thought were going to be out of place, but they're such a welcome improvement to the basic Game Boy design. Look, if you're worried about it feeling cheap or plasticky, don't. I felt the same way about the clear purple, but I went ahead and got it in this color anyways because I felt that nostalgia for the original see-through systems. And I'm not disappointed in any way. It's also very robust, as I've dropped this a few times now and don't see any damage on it whatsoever. The device is pocket approved also. It's small enough to fit right in your pocket and take up minimal space in an everyday carry bag. There's one more thing I want to mention about the build quality on this device. The way it feels, the heftiness, I don't know if many people talked about this, but the weight of this device it feels right. Like it feels like there's actually hardware in here and it's not a cheap, just little device. I don't know how to describe it, but it just feels good in your hands and it feels like there's actually something here. I don't know if that makes any sense. It honestly reminds me of the original Game Boys. The original Game Boys had this kind of like heftiness to it. Maybe it was the old plastic that they were using or something, but just they felt good in your hands and they didn't feel like you were super light or too heavy or anything like that. Something that I've seen though is that people get the speaker on this device a lot of shit for being bad, but you're playing some old 8-bit games anyways that have some, rough sounds as it is, so I'm not sure if it matters that much, but if you have a problem with it, just slap on some headphones. Now, a slight con I will say regarding the design of the RG35XX is that if you have big hands, you may want a larger device because this can get a little rough to hold for long periods of time since your thumbs will be very close to each other. Now, I generally don't play Pokemon Emerald for 3 hours straight and I don't have very big hands, so this is not an issue for me. Alright, let's get into actually using the device. The RG35XX is ready to play straight out of the box. When you turn it on, you'll be greeted with an extremely simple menu that lets you dive right into hundreds of games pre-installed on this device. The games are separated into categories based on their console. Now, there are a shitload of games on this console, so finding that niche game that you played when you were really young is going to be a bit tough. But it can be done via the search feature, and when you find it, you can add it to the favorites tab so you can access it later. A lot of you retro gamers will really appreciate this one though. You can press the middle button here, which will allow you to create a save state. This is great because a lot of old retro games require you to find somewhere in the game to make a save file, and that can be frustrating when you're older and just don't have the time. You can also adjust other settings such as a video display effect, allowing you to make the RG35XX feel like an old retro system with a scanline effect on the screen. You can also adjust the backlight brightness level as you need. Overall, the RG35XX is an incredible system that perfectly recreates a nostalgic feeling I used to have when playing the original Game Boys. It's that perfect blend of old and new with features such as save states, cheat code support, and TV HDMI output. It seamlessly integrates the nostalgia of retro gaming with the convenience of modern technology. Look, whether you're a seasoned retro enthusiast or a newcomer to the world of emulation, this device has the accessibility and intuitive design to make it a perfect choice for gamers of all backgrounds. To wrap up this video, guys, in a market flooded with tons of emulation devices, handheld systems, whether it's the official systems or emulation devices like this, the RG35XX just still stands out for me. It feels familiar, it looks familiar, it has tons of great games, the screen's impressive, the battery life is long, the price tag is great. I mean, I could list off tons of things with it, and that's why I made the whole video on it. So I would definitely recommend this for your collection of handhelds, and yeah, thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.